Mr. President, may I please invite you to address the nation? Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and good evening to all of you who are here and those who may well be watching from home. And fellow South Africans, in the election of the 8th of May, our people provided this administration with a clear mandate to accelerate inclusive economic growth, act with greater urgency to tackle poverty, improve government services, fight corruption, as well as to end state capture. If we are to give effect to this mandate, we need a capable, efficient, and ethical government. Today, we are announcing some of the outcomes of the reconfiguration of national government. As I indicated in the State of the Nation address in February 2018, I said it is critical that the structure and the size of the state is optimally suited to meet the needs of the people, as well as to ensure the most efficient allocation of public resources. In undertaking this review of state reconfiguration, we've been guided by the need to build a modern developmental state that has the means to drive economic and social transformation, to embrace innovation, and to direct the effort and resources towards where they will have the greatest impact. All South Africans are acutely aware of the great economic difficulties that our country is going through right now. But they are also aware of the constraints that have been placed on our public finances. It is therefore imperative that in all areas and spheres of government, we place priority on revitalizing our economy, while at the same time exercising great care in the use of public funds. To promote greater coherence, better coordination, and improved efficiency, we have combined a number of portfolios, and by doing so, we have reduced the number of ministries, or ministers rather, from 36 to 28. This is a significant move of downscaling our state. Many people believed that our government, which is meant to serve 57 million people, was bloated, and this was agreed right across the board. And let me immediately say that I'm truly grateful for the inputs, suggestions, and proposals that we have received from a number of quarters, where South Africans of their own volition came forward and made a number of wonderful suggestions. And these suggestions have been filtered through various processes, and they have enabled us and given us great wisdom in reconfiguring the state, that the government. And let me immediately say, a reconfigured state is an ideal, but we also see it as a process. It is a process that should finally lead us to the blueprint type of government that we all seek. So we are on a journey, and the journey will finally end at a destination that will give all of us the best government that we want. So in this regard, the reconfiguration that we've embarked on, these are some of its outcomes, but some of them. Trade and industry is combined with economic development into being one ministry. Higher education and training is combined with science and technology. Environmental affairs is combined with forestry and fisheries. Agriculture is combined with land reform and rural development. Mineral resources is combined with energy. Human settlements is combined with water and sanitation. Sports and recreation is combined with arts and culture. We had already, as many of us will recall, combined telecommunications and communications. We have also decided to add other responsibilities to other departments. In the case of public works, we decided to add infrastructure development. And in the case of the labor, we've decided to add employment, so that we demonstrate that indeed our country is on a journey of creating jobs, and therefore our ministry will now be called the Ministry of Employment and Labor. If we are to make effective progress in building the South Africa that we all yearn for and the South Africa that we all want, it is important that we deploy into positions of responsibility people who are committed, people who are capable, hardworking, and who have integrity. In appointing a new national executive of the country, I have taken a number of considerations into account, including experience, continuity, competence, generational mix, and demographic mix as well, and regional diversity. The people who I am appointing today must realize that the expectations of South African people have never been higher and they've never been greater than they are at the moment, and that those people I will be appointing have a huge responsibility on their shoulders. Their performance, individually and collectively, will be closely monitored against specific outcomes. I will be signing performance agreements with each and every one of the ministers and deputy ministers, which will be evaluated regularly against clearly stated targets and clearly stated performance outcomes. And where implementation is unsatisfactory, action will be taken. I've decided, therefore, to make the following appointments to the National Executive. The Deputy President is David Mabuza. The Minister of Agriculture, Land Reform, and Rural Development is Togo Didiza. The Deputy Minister in that department, there will be 2 deputy ministers because of the enormity of the task and the extent of the responsibilities that have to do with agriculture, land reform, and rural development. The 2 deputy ministers will be Stumo Dlamini and Mcebisi Skwacha. The Minister of Basic Education is Angie Motsecha. The Deputy Minister is Dr. Regina Mhaule. Minister of Communications is Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. Deputy Minister is Pinky Kekana. Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs is Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. Deputy Ministers, there will be 2 because of the importance and the enormity of the task at hand that has to do with cooperative governance, impacting on local government, impacting on traditional affairs, and impacting also on how national, provincial, and local government cooperate. The deputy ministers, therefore, will be Pax Tau and Obet Bapela. Minister of Defense and Military Veterans is Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula. Deputy Minister is Tabang Makwetla. Minister of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries is Barbara Creasy. Deputy Minister is Maggie Sochu. Minister of Employment and Labor is Tulas Ngesi. Deputy Minister is Buitumelo Muloi. Minister of Finance is Tito Mboweni. Deputy Minister of Finance is Dr. David Masondo. Minister of Health is Dr. Zwelini Mkhize. Deputy Minister of Health is Dr. Joe Pahla. Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology is Dr. Blade Nzimande. Deputy Minister is Buti Manamela. Minister of Home Affairs is Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. Deputy Minister is Njabulo Nzuza. Minister of Human Settlements, Water and Sanitation is Lindiwe Sisulu. Deputy Ministers, because international relations is such a vast portfolio which involves interacting with multilateral organizations around the world, the UN, the AU, and many other countries as well. We need 2 deputy ministers, and they will be Alvin Buotes and Kenneth Mashikhu Dlamini. Minister of Justice and Correctional Services is Ronald Lamula. Deputy Minister will be John Jeffrey and Inkosi Patekile Holomisa. Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy will be Gwede Mantashe. Deputy Minister will be Bavelile Hlongwa. Minister of Police is General Begi Cele. Deputy Minister is Castle Matale. Minister in the Presidency is Jackson Mtembu. Deputy Minister in the Presidency is Tembi Siweya. Minister in the Presidency for Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities is Maite Nkwana Mashabane. Deputy Minister is Professor Hlengiwe Mkhize. Minister of Public Enterprises is Pravin Gordon. Deputy Minister is Pumulo Maswale. Minister of Public Service and Administration is Senzo Mkhunu. Deputy Minister is Cindy Chikunga. Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure is Patricia DeLille. Deputy Minister is Nokolo Kivit. Minister of Small Business Development is Kumbudzo Nchabeni. Deputy Minister is Rosemary Kapa. Minister of Social Development is Lindiwe Zulu. Deputy Minister of Social Development is Henrietta Bokhopane Zulu. Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture is Nati Mtetwa. Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture is Notawe Mafu. Minister of State Security is Ayanda Dlodlo. Deputy Minister of State Security is Zizi Kodwa. Minister of Tourism is Nkensani Kubai Ngubani. Deputy Minister is Fish Matlalela. Minister of Trade and Industry is Ibrahim Patel. Deputy Ministers will be Figile Majola and Nomalungelo Gina. Minister of Transport is Fikile Mbalula. Deputy Minister of Transport is Dikeledi Magadzi. These men and women we have appointed to the executive are drawn from all corners of our country. They will all be sworn in tomorrow by the Chief Justice. For the first time in the history of our country, half of all the ministers are women. 50% of our ministers are now women. We have also included a significant number of young people. This is in fulfillment of our commitment to giving young people roles of responsibility in all sectors of society. This is part of a generational transition in which we are creating what we call a pipeline of leaders